Yeehaw! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to season 30, race 6 of the Div 1 division. And this is the second half of the season. It's been shaping up absolutely brilliant. We have some massive battles in the last 5 races, and I'm sure we're going to have another one again today. Stop playing with your rattlesnakes. We've got some action on show. And been a little bit of rush today. I haven't had time to have my pre-com shit. So I'm going to have to get out my Pokeball and catch myself a Diglett. I've got something poking out. I'm going to have to just finger it back in for another couple of hours. As we have got ourselves, again, 20 drivers on track. Absolutely brilliant. Big credit to all the drivers on track. We've got 3 reserves today, 2 of the Div 2 boys, which you'd recognise. Benja filling in for Gary, and Benji boy in the Sauber. And then we've got Neymar as well in the Ferrari, filling in for Eisner. One of the debutants last week had brilliant qualifying. There's 1 or 2 which we're going to have our eye on. Portuguese pulled one out of the bag in Hungary last week. Got himself at the top of the order. Daniel got himself on debut. An absolute smashing time. And you've got your regulars like Amadi and Callum eyeing up potential another pole. It looks like a dry session in the hot sun of Texas, and we'll watch a hot lap with Mr. Katamese, our Div 2 champion, as he climbs uphill to turn 1. It's a steep bumpy climb with a blind apex. You need a good exit as we go downhill round flat out round turn 2 of this right-hander through turns 3 and 5, which you need a good flow. See these corners similar to something like Suzuka. Throw your car in turn 6, he's invalidated. Wah, wah, wah. He's going to have to bail out. Let's jump on somebody else. Who's next? There we go. We'll keep an eye with Brutus Beer then, who's had some brilliant qualifying and finishes lately. Out of turn 9. And then down to turn 11, which is a straightforward braking zone. You want to set yourself up for a good straight line. He's got a good toe off the car ahead of him. He'd love that. DRS open as we approach turn 12. Hard braking zone where we're going to see 1 or 2 overtakes, one of the best overtakes in spots on the circuit. Sharp turn in as we end sector 2. Turns 13, 15, the slowest part of the circuit. Very, very technical. And you have to turn and brake simultaneously. It's very tricky, and he's invalidated. Turned in too soon on turn 15. And we've got Ferrari next. So we're staying with Neymar as he finishes his lap for us. Going around turns 16 to 18, flat out. Throw your car in 19. It's very easy to invalidate on track limits on the outside. Final corner where you want to set yourself up for your next lap. Line creeps up on you, and it's a 1:32.9. Immediately taken by Caps Lock in the Alpine and jumped by Portuguese 31.1. I think we're going to get some high 30s as Michael and Martin Silva throw their times in. Benedict doing very, very well in the Red Bull. Currently this season up to provisional P3. We're going to see some times drop in as 1 or 2 cross the line. Daniel's on an out lap. So he's invalidating the final corner. Oh, he's not going to like that. Let's stay on with Higosh then. I think it's next one. He's just coming round the final couple of corners, and he's invalidated as well. Oh, it's been a big talking point throughout this week while guys have been practicing. Track limits are a big issue, and they're going to play a big part in how one qualifying unfolds, but also how the finishing positions on track. And what we're doing a little bit extra, which we've seen this season's Callum up to the front row, 31.3, couple of tenths behind Portuguese. Lap Brat next then. He's managed to keep it with the white lines. The elite driver, a little bit loose on the exit of the final corner. Slits behind his teammate for today, 33-1. Hasboy's next on into pits as Katames gets a 33-2. Invalidated, so not great for him. Zamadi, one of the pole contenders. Everyone was hoping for a potentially wet session. It's a very slippery surface. Goes P3 with a 31-6. Wesker in the Williams. P7. So Williams looking reasonably healthy at the moment with the Red Bulls. Let's have a look. Validation there again as he starts a new lap. Daniel. So we keep on Katz, who's going to start a new lap as well. We'll keep an eye on Jack Daniels, who's following Daniel. So I'll stay on with Daniel and then follow with Jack Daniels. Oh no! It's a Daniel Spider-Man meme! And they're following each other on track, and Benji's retired. He's saving himself. Of course, we'll see him in the Div 2 race following this at 9 PM UK. Those that haven't already, by the order of Terry Reds, please like and subscribe. We don't need it, we just love it. DRS open for Daniel as he goes down the big long back straight. Down to turn 12. Got the fastest first sector. And we'll see how he gets on in the second sector as well. Yeah, he's maximised that too. Now this guy's very quick, considering he's on pad. Very, very quick. And joined us last week. Just missed out on the race win. See, he was going to throw his car in now in the penultimate corner. Oh, managed to keep his back end in. Plenty of room. Maximising the curbs. He's going to set a time, and it is top of the order. 30.5. A good whole 6/10 ahead of Portuguese. That's incredible. Let's jump on with Jack Daniels up to P8. A race winner this season, of course. Cat's next to cross the line. Meow meow motherfucker up to P12. We'll keep an eye on then the McLaren of Higosh. One of a handful of drivers yet to set a time. Oh, drifts his car. Round turn 6. And he's going to have to bail out. He might have to jump back in the pits and go again. And we'll keep an eye on Mr. Brutus Beer. Incredible lap there from the Mercedes. Daniel's been a breath of fresh air. Last couple of races. And some extra competition for these front runners. Callum's had to actually do some proper practice this week. Do some proper sweating. Nice little slipstream toe there for Brutus as well. One or two cars down the back straight. A very tricky part. And it's a very difficult circuit. As I mentioned, it's the grip levels on this track it's like they're on a different setting. Great speed here from Brutus. Podium sitter this season as well. Him to cross the line. And goes P7 for now. 1:32.3, just behind Benedict. Incredible time. Let's jump back on, and I think Adam's next. Good evening, Guna. How are we doing? Looking forward to see you in the Div 2 race following this. Guna reckons Benji's going to try and do a last to first. He'll try his best. He'll have to get past the likes of Adam Mako, who's up to P12, 32.8. Decent time. He's ahead of 1 or 2. Oh. Oh, I told you I'm in a rush. Can you still hear me, though? Bloody hell. Right, you can hear me now. Have you heard anything at all before now? Invalidation from Benja. Mr. AJ, who's invalidated as well. Well, as long as you can hear me on stream, if the lobby can hear me as well, it's an absolute bonus for him, but... Oh, good. Oh, good. Because it would have been a rookie mistake. So AJ having to bail out. Portuguese invalidated. Callum's just started. Amadi, let's keep an eye on him. Well, it's an extra bonus for him. They can have a bonus on top of their bonus. They're all wanking out over the steering wheels. Amadi crosses the line and improves slightly. It's 300ths behind Portuguese. I'm glad I gave you a boner. At least you don't need the pills. Let's see who's next, who's going to be crossing the line. As Wesker goes up ahead of Jax Daniels up to P10. Katamise, he's not going to be doing that well. Neymar, P13, Ferrari reserve. How's Callum doing? So Callum, he's not found that much extra pace. And he's invalidated. And the apex of 19. Incredible. Feeling the pressure here, the McLaren. Where's Michael? He's just apparently around turn 11. Let's jump on Benedict then, who's bailed out of his lap. Definitely not going to improve there. Let's come on, Higosh then. So he's round the final sector. And yeah, he's not going to improve as either. Everyone's struggling, which makes it very, very interesting. And Daniel, he's pushed too hard as well. Struggling with these track limits, everyone. And yeah, what we're doing this race and what we've done before is he's invalidated. We just watched Neymar invalidate. Let's keep an eye on Cats then. Is that at the end of the race, anyone that has no track limit penalties gets bonus 3 points in the standings. So a little reward there for those that have pushed the limits. And I managed to find success within the white lines. Found an extra 10th here, Cats. Still need to find an extra couple to gain a place to get above Adamaco. Everyone's in the pits, though, to do one final run. Cat's the only one on track, and I think he'll be out of sync. Spicy. Not one spice, but 3 spice. 3 bonus point spice. Cat's all across the line. A little bit tentative round the final corner. Found almost half a second and got himself up to P13, so that final sector, I'm absolutely creamed in that. And as you can see, Portuguese, he's not hanging around here. He's got some time to find a moment. Daniel's gap is bigger than Jordan's legs when she's got them wide open on stirrups. Well, she gets fucked by every single guy in the world. Scabby whore. And we're going to see a mass exodus out of the pits now. If we don't... interesting. As I said, Portuguese nipped on that pole last week with an incredible lap, and he's going to have to find another one. As it stands this week, Callum's got a 50-point lead over Amadee in the Div 1 standings. It's still all to play for. Portuguese right on the heels. Callum and Higosh leading the way in the constructors, but that's a lot tighter. Red Bull and Aston Martin and Williams all hunting down. Of course, Callum's leading the way if he's leaving Div 1 in the Platinum Championship. In the Elite, Benedict in the Red Bull. He's got a 7-point lead over Gary, who's missing this week, so big points here for Benedict. At the moment, Michael is on pole for the Elite. Daniel, of course, for an invalidation for Portuguese. Has he got enough fuel in his car to go again? Otherwise, he's fucked it. He's going to have to get out of the way here, which he does. So who have we got next? I think Katames is the next one. I think Katz is done. I can't think see him improving with those used tyres. So we'll keep an eye on Katames then and see how he gets on. Oh, he looks like invalidated, and he has. I don't know if he's got enough time to get round and do another lap, so that's him done. So we'll jump on with Benja then. So yes, some big points on offer here, and likes of Capsock and Labrat and Michael and Wesker and AJ is very, very tight. And validation for Benja. Oh my gosh. We've got Neymar next. Ferrari's potentially looking to do a bit of team play with Labrat in pursuit, but he's on an outlap. He's not got enough time to go round here. Or Capsock, unless Labrat definitely does. Where's Capsock? Capsock's done his, but Labrat won't have enough time to do a lap. They've messed up their timings. So Labrat's going to be P17 highest. Neymar comes at the end of the second sector. And he's found nearly 2 tenths. Could get him up to above Katames at the moment. So yes, some big points on offer in the Elite Championship, and those that not aware. So we have 2 divisions, and in each division there's 2 tiers. This one being Platinum for your top 10 drivers, and your second 10 are the Elite. One of each tier are in each represent the constructors. P7 for Neymar. His teammate will be P17. Higosh next across the line. He's invalidated. He's in the pits. We've got an Alpine. It's Martin Silva, P6. Amadee, can he improve on P3s? Not. Second row for Amadee, doesn't improve. AJ's called it a day. So both Saubers will be starting at the rear. Daniel's 30.5. Portuguese can't improve. We P2. Front row though. What can Callum do as he crosses the line? Benedict will start P7. Front row for Callum ahead of Portuguese. But not even into the 30s. 31 flat. Wesker's invalidated. Jax Daniels is invalidated. We've got Adam and Brutus left to go. Brutus is not improving. And Adam's invalidated. So that's your order. Daniel takes his first pole of the season. And for Lights Out League Racing, congratulations to him. And everybody's finding it really tricky, and there's 1 or 2 out of sync at the moment. Not where you'd expect them to be. And I always like COTA. It's not what a track that drivers are used to. Here's your grid order then. Daniel, first pole for Lights of League Racing, the 30.5. Callum joins him on the front row. Portuguese and Amadeo right behind them with Michael, who got pole position in the elite alongside Martin Silva. Benedict and Neymar on row 4 with Brutus and Higosh rounding off the top 10. Capslock and Wesker, row 6. Jack Daniels and Katamise, row 7. Labrat 15th. Katz 16th. Adamako B17 alongside Benji P19 and AJ at the back, both not setting a time. And we'll be there to watch the carnage unfold for turn 1. Oh, Gooners calling out Terry to be a co-commentator for the Div 1 race. There's a high chance he's doing some sweat practice, to be honest. Get himself ready, try and get himself another race win. And challenge for that Div 2 title. Now we'll have a couple of minutes while drivers just sort out their strategy. I think tyre wear will have its part to play. One stop may be possible. I won't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 stoppers, especially those that are not competing at the front, and we'll try and do some couple of really quick runs, but you don't want to be pitting too often. So 20.6 second pit stop, and it's a lot of time to waste. This game's not been throwing up safety cars that often, as expected. When you see 1 or 2 incidents, it has been keeping them in its pocket. Although those at Quarters last week, we did have a last minute safety car that threw up an absolute carnage, couple of lap sprint, and then hung in the Hungaroring. It's not a sight you want to see. Those in the chat, let me know who you reckon is going to be your race winner on the podium. I think I'm going to have to safe to say, with the pace he's shown in quali, I'd have to put down Daniel to take the race win. I think it's going to go how it stands now. I think it's going to be Daniel, Callum and Portuguese for your podium 3. But it's tighter than a cat's arsehole. Have you seen those jewels that you stick on cat's arseholes? Like, it draws more attention. So tyres here. Most drivers starting on the mediums. 1 or 2 going on the alternate strategy on the hards. And Daniel on pole is doing so. And what it might do is just hamper his start off the line while his tyres heat up. So he could be under threat for the overtake. Early doors, Michael on pole as well for the elite, going on the hards. Could put him under threat from the likes of Benedict and Higosh behind. Neymar, Brutus, Katamise, Benja and Benji. Spider-Man meme doing the same. Both choosing to go a little bit different. Daniel leads us round the 5.51 kilometre anti-clockwise circuit of the Americas. There's 20 corners, 11 to the left, 9 to the right, 20 that you can invalidate on, which we've probably seen in quali. There is 2 DRS zones where we'll hopefully see some overtaking. Amazon tells us it is a 1-stop possible, so a potential safety car may change that. There's a 29% chance of both a safety car and a VSC. Some drivers don't want to really see them, although for last week for Callum it played into his hands and gave him the race win, which I won't say he didn't deserve. He was fortunate for it coming out. Daniel's just leading us around the final couple of corners now. The pace setter for the formation lap. And I don't think they'll be sitting in the grid box too long. There's still some drivers coming around turn 15. So maybe one or two waiting. Josh cheering on the Haas boys, Academies and Adam. Of course, he represents the American team in Div 2 with Guna, and hoping for some big points for that overall constructors. The World Constructors. Haas boys just slitting in their grid box. Daniel's got a 250 metre run up. It's a run uphill from pole to turn 1, braking. And it's a blind braking zone, so it's going to be a difficult one. And we're going to have to keep an eye on the likes of Callum, Portuguese and D on Daniel. As we're 4, 5 in Texas. Yeehaw! Lights out and away we go. And Daniel has got a decent start, but he's getting swamped by Callum. He puts the defence on the McLaren, who goes on the outside and looks for the overtake. Looks like, oh, what's going on there? We've got a Ferrari riding like a cowboy. It's still going. What's going on? This is getting clips and span, and that's Neymar. Now that was absolute bants. Neymar's got his car going again. Wesker's come a cropper as well, coming out of turn 2. And hopefully hasn't got any damage on his wing. And it's just slightly adrift of the chasing pack now. He doesn't, but yeah, someone's trying to ride a bucking Bronco. And it's the prancing horse of the Ferrari. As Katami's losing out a couple of positions to Higosh and Katz. Big moves here from Katz. And those that caught us last season. Katz won the Performance Championship, the one and only. And it was awarded to those that made up the most positions from qualifying to the race, as Adam Mako and Jax Daniels having a good battle around turn 15. Jax just ahead at the moment. Adam Mako all over on the inside of the triple right-hander. Jax leaving plenty of room. Can Adam make this move round turn 19? The side-by-side, it's a brave move. We've seen Vettel do some brilliant overtakes there, a little bit of wheel banging. But Jax has the position. It's a difficult place to overtake, but brave move as Callum in the lead of the race. Both Salvers have gained a couple of positions, 16th and 17th now, so decent start from both the green cars. As we see Labrat on the inside of turn 1. So Neymar making a move on AJ on the inside of turn 1. First one to get that track limits and no bonus points. Callum already gained a bit of time on Daniel, whose tyres are yet to make temperature, and he's out of that crucial DRS zone as we approach the first DRS zone down the back straight. Little loss of traction from Amadi, who's got past Portuguese, and then can Amadi get past Daniel with that DRS. Daniel had brilliant straight line speed last week. He can't fend off the Red Bull, who's now up to P2. And Amadi actually had a brilliant strategy last week on his tyre choice. He was very quick and got himself that P2. Mr. P2 yet to get a race win this season. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Keep an eye on Capslock and Michael. Both been jumped by Benedict. Benedict leading the way in the elite. You can see Amadi pumping that lead, and he's in the DRS zone of Callum. And that front 6, including Martin and Benedict, are going to have a put in a show, I'm sure. Oh, we got a car ahead, look like. Or it might just been a board. My eyes have deceived me. Brilliant battle here. Higosh and Katz as well. So we've got a brilliant elite battle with Michael, Katz, like Higosh and Katz. Katami's holding up the likes of Brutus, Jax, Adam Labrat, and the train all the way down to AJ. Katami's just not got his tyres turned on yet, and he's going to be under threat with this DRS zone now. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of cars got past him. So just keep an eye on Caps Lock. Taking a look at Michael. And the Alpine up to P7 then. Brutus managing to make the move on Katami's. There's Higosh. He's not in close enough to get past Michael yet. Benedict trying to stay with those fast front five at the moment. He's just fallen adrift and he's going to come into the clutches of the chasing pack behind. He's got a 2-second gap. Red Bull driver's going to find it a bit difficult. Adam Mako and Jax all over each other again. They're going to have to get themselves a room at the plaza. They're all handsy. Jax taking a look at the Haas of Katami's. Goes deep though, and Katami's does the switchback. Very wise move from Katami's, and Adam Mako capitalising as well at the Aston Martin's mistake. As we've got a Sauber, Benji and Neymar going side by side. There's Brave trying to do it through the S's. Jackson and Adam find each other on track. Very tight racing at these early stages. Martin seems to just cut adrift as well. As we've had a slight collision here with Jax and Neymar, I think. Neymar just pushing AJ slightly wide. There's plenty of room on track, guys. Come on, you don't need to be that close. As we see Neymar into the wall. It didn't look too clever from both drivers. He's got a damaged wing. They were just why I don't know why they were so close when it's such a wide bit of track. I'm sure we'll hear about Jax on the inside of the triple right-hander on Labrat. A brilliant move by the Aston Martin, and look how close this racing is. Adam Mako's got past Katami's as well. He's definitely the lead Haas driver. As AJ losing out a couple of possessions. No, it's Jax. Jax lost out a couple more possessions. He's not liking this week. There's Jax and Bendria going past Neymar. Retiring the pits. Thank you for retiring the pits, my friend. Didn't seem like it was too tasty. And Amadi is now the new race leader. He managed to get ahead of Callum. And Amadi, the Flying Scotsman, is going to be looking to try and get his first win of the season. Daniel, of course, on the alternate strategy, we have the quicker second stint. Doing well, just running in P3 for now. Portuguese, just buying his time, I reckon. Doesn't need to force it, let them race ahead. And pounce when he needs to. Martin and P5 with Benedict all over his rear wing. Alpine's looking very good this week. Looking to get some big points, like I said. At the moment, Capslock and Michael and Higosh and Katz. You don't know where they're going to finish. Benji ahead of Katami's, who's trying to thwart off the advances of Labrat. The now lone Ferrari. Michael getting that track limits and misses out on that bonus 3 points. Let's have a check on these front four. Very wise drivers. Portuguese just not as close as he would like to be. Needs to be careful not to just fall adrift as Katami's and Benji. Former Div 2. Oh, Katami's needs to be careful as he lets Labrat go through. Probably didn't see him when he was just coming back on track. Benji and Katami's former Div 2 rivals. Katami's, of course, like I said, winning the division and the professional tier. Got promoted up to the Div 1 As we see Brutus and Katz exchanging positions. Bit of team play there. You know I love a bit of team play. But Katz may have DRS here. As we see Capslock and Michael. Oh, look up there from Capslock, who slightly goes deep. Michael saw it coming though, so avoids any sort of contact. It's just slightly a little bit reckless from the Alpine, but Michael, again, he saw it very wisely and knows that the race can't be won in the first 6 laps. There's 28 altogether. It'll be interesting to see how everyone's strategies play out. We've got a good battle here for the race win. Front 4 flying. There's a battle for P5, and then we got this big battle for P7 as well. So we'll jump back up and see these front 4. They're all so concertina like a harpsichord. Where's the performing monkey? His name's Katamise. Dance, bitch. That's is Jax. Goes side by side, turn 1. Katamise defends well. Jax has the inside of turn 2. They're going to be side by side through the S's. This is going to be brave, but Jax does a brilliant overtake round turn 2. Got a better exit out of turn 1. As we see Callum and Daniel side by side. Daniel gets ahead of Callum and making his advances. And is this a stage where the tyres start levelling out? You like to think that the medium tyres are going to go to around lap 14 or so. Maybe lap 13, 14. But the grip is very, very difficult. We see Martin and Benedict trying to exchange positions, but Martin defends well from the Red Bull. Michael back ahead of Capslock at that opportunist turn 12. Daniel's battle with Katamise has dropped him from the 2 cars ahead. Adam Makos has to look in his mirrors and he sees a green flash of Shrek jizz. The likes of Benji and Labrat closing in on the Haas. Doing very well at the moment. We got a yellow flag. Looks like AJ, is it? I think he's lost a bit of traction round the triple right-hander. Is Adamako first one in the pits then? And is this a two-stopper for the Haas? Is this indication that it's going to be a two-stopper? Or is he going to try and do an undercut and go very long on the hards? 20 laps on the hards though is going to be quite tricky. But this is an interesting insight to what potentially could be the strategy. And for those Div 2 drivers watching as well, of how what their strategy could be in their race. But Adam, of course, that comes out at the back, but the only one to have pit. As we go and see, oh, have we lost? Oh, hey gosh, out of turn 11. I've lost traction in a couple of positions. He's under threat now from Benji. I think he'll have enough in his tank to get him to the end without the overtake, so quite fortunate. But you know, these medium tyres not lasting as long as drivers would like. Terry says lap 7 only 3 drives with track limits. He's very impressed. Let's see what the guys do in Div 2. It'll be like Take Me Out. Boo, 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 boo. And Callum in the pits then. So Callum potentially doing a 2-stop as well. Martin Silva in the Alpine following suit. So yeah, I think potentially we're going to have a 2-stop here. There's everyone else going through. No one else choosing to do that pit stop. Are we going to have people braving the 1-stop? Callum is a quick boy though, and might take advantage of that 1 extra stop. Comes out ahead of Labrat. No, ahead of Labrat and behind Benji. So stuck in a bit of traffic here, Callum, which is not what he wanted. There's AJ and Wesker having a brilliant battle through the first sector. AJ at the moment just ahead. This won't help Callum's early pit stop. Stuck behind Benji. Looks for the overtake at turn 11. Have a nice little bit of slipstream off his teammate as well. It won't hold him up, I'm sure. You got a yellow flag at turn 11. Oh no, it's AJ. AJ at the start of sector 2. He's lost his back end. Martin Silva wasn't stuck behind Katamise too long, and you can't say that about many drivers. Makes that overtake nice and quick, as Callum does get past his teammate, which I think he'll be very grateful. 3 seconds for Daniel, who's in the back in the lead of the race, and he's got 2 seconds over Amadi. Gosh, and Benji side by side through the triple right-hander. That's brave. Benji on the overtake on the inside of 19, gets the track limits for his efforts. As you see, Benedict and Higosh both go in then. So yeah, some medium runners choosing to pit. Amadi, Portuguese, still going. Jax Daniels in as well. There's an interesting strategy call here for 1 or 2 drivers, and I'll be interested to see if 1 or 2 try and do the one stop. And at the moment, there's 1 or 2 still doing it. AJ going in as well, getting some fresh rubber on. Capstock and Brutus here having a good batters. Portuguese on the inside of Amadi. Brilliant overtake from the Portuguese driver. Having a good battle. They don't want to fight each other too hard and let Daniel get away. He's on the alternate strategy, and it could play into his hands, although he does have that 3-second disadvantage at the moment. Benedict on those fresh tyres. Again, former Div 2 rivals, both taking the jump up to Div 1. And Benedict, fresh tyres, gets himself ahead up to P12. As Amadi choosing to pit now. Portuguese carrying on. This is an interesting call here from Portuguese. I would be surprised if he went an extra 3 or so laps and did the one stop. There, Mike on the alternate strategy up to P3 now. Elite driver. Brutus following him. Capstock in the pits. He's done 10 laps. And will come out behind his teammate. Andrew goes through. Wesker's in the pits. Terry's reckons everyone will do the one stop. There's 1 or 2 drivers who've got to go a long way though. If you think Adamako pit and will be doing 20 laps on his tyres, they're going to have to nurse them. Callum's got a bit of clean air now, so he can pump some laps in. Amadi comes out right behind Katz. He should make an overtake, quite sharpish though, down the back straight into a little bit of clean air. Italian hand gesture for AJ, sped in the pit lane, and he's called it a night. Not liking this circuit. 1 or 2 incidents, potentially put his feet up, watch a bit of football. We thank him for retiring in the pits. As Portuguese now deciding to make that pit stop as Martin. Oh! Looks like a little connection issue there for the Alpine. Looks like he's got Parkinson's. Adamako and Jax Daniels back on track again. Adamako ahead of the Alpine as Higosh, you can see him slipping around behind. Katz in the pits and Labrat as well. So all those ones on the mediums now all have pit. And it's just those on the alternate yet to do so. Brilliant battle here between these 3. Jax gets himself that track limit. Should, with the aid of DRS, try and make a move on Adam. I don't think he's close enough though. As Labrat comes behind this battle, I'm sure will close in and join the party. Cats. Oh, as we watch Jackson, his span coming out of turn 1. And we've caught that on camera. And we'll be playing it on repeat. And he drops him down to P17. Baby, if you gotta go away, spin out of turn 1. As we jump on Martin and Benji. Martin getting back ahead of Benji. Locks up at turn 12. Good reactions there from the Sauber of Benji. Portuguese come out behind Callum, right behind Callum as well. So Portuguese put in some mega laps. He's come out ahead of Amadi. As we see Higosh with the aid of DRS gaining a place over Adam. Again, Adam not able to hold his back end coming out of a tight turn 12. They're both Mercedes now at the lead of this race. It'll be interesting to see when they make their stop. Caps Lock and Benja. Caps Lock up to P11. Maybe they overtake at turn 19. What a knob. Yeah, exactly. Jax Daniels. What a knob. Oh, tight turning from Caps Lock, looking to make the overtake before the S's, although he's going to be stuck behind the Haas. Katamise drives like a fridge. And we're in America, so it's one of those double-doored big American fridges. Because they eat so much food, they need more food in their fridge. They don't even need a fridge. The food won't be in the house long enough. You see, he's having to. He's got better traction through that sector, but it should be an easy enough overtake for the Alpine down the back straight on the Haas. Oh, you almost thought he's going to go in and lose his wing. He's in the slipstream. Katamise goes on the early defence, and there goes the overtake for the Alpine up to P10. Katamise trying to defend. And just brilliant drive for the Haas, but switch back from Caps Lock. Round of applause. Caps Lock tried to defend the move, which is fair play, but he went deep. And Caps Lock lapped that up. Num 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 num. He's had your catnip. And left him for dust. That was Martin Silva in the pits, and he's retired. Why have you retired? You're running well. Martin? Why are you eating out of the bin, Martin? That's why he's left. He's eating out of the bin. Callum gets past Brutus up to P3 now, McLaren. On those fresh tyres. He's still about a pit stop behind Daniel, though. So if Callum's got to go, he's going to have a few extra lap tyres. There's Portuguese inside of Brutus. I don't think Brutus will defend that too hard. Knows it's not his battle. And Benji's left the session. I'll have to invite him back. Still in the race. Benji. Isn't that the name of the dog on the In-Betweeners? The dog that watches Jay wank. And then he gets put down. Labrat and Benja. I think Benja's lost his back end coming out the first sector. Around turns 9 and 10. And he's lost a couple of positions as the Cats exchange positions. Perfect. Both championship rivals. But, Cats on those fresh tyres. And he's got Higosh as well. Difficult place to overtake through this technical section. And Benedict gets himself those crucial 3-second penalty. Amadi managed to finally get past Michael. Still just within that DRS. So we've got a great battle. Callum, Portuguese and D. All of pit. And all still with each other on track. You can't call it. Over halfway, 13 laps to go. And Daniel's still yet to pit, but he'll be on the medium tyres on his final stint. The same as Brutus and Michael and Brutus on track again. Get a grip. Benja in the pits, getting off his hard tyres, then first one to get off. Oh, and it was that. It was Higosh. We saw him go sideways. Managed to get his car going again. Lost traction at the start of the S's. We're not in Mexico. ASA. We're in the US fucking A. Yeah, both Dutchmen find each other in track again. Oh, Portuguese track limits. Making the overtake on Callum round 15. Callum tries to defend it. Yeah, I think Portuguese, like he did in qualifying, turned in early on 15. But now up to P2 and the net lead of the race. But will put his chances of the race win in jeopardy. I'll be hoping for the two chasing drivers to get track limits as well. But brilliant drive here from the two Dutchmen, yeah. Both found each other on track again. Brutus with the bragging rights following the last race that they ended together. And of course, he doesn't have any track limits as of yet. Battle here with Katames again. Katames yet to pit. Labrat will need to try and get past him at the turn one. Has a look on the outside. Potentially try and do a switchback on the Haas. You can see what he's trying to do. Brilliant placement of the Haas's car. And he leads him through the S-bends once again. There should be a rudimentary overtake for the Ferrari. At the back straight, and Higosh, after his mistake, he's been listening to Kyle Minogue. He's been listening to Tears of Fears. Higosh doing a double overtake at turn 11. He's going to be under threat down to turn 12. He's got DRS though, so that should defend him from Katames. Labrat on the outside of turn 12. Katames trying to defend again. Can Labrat do the switchback like we saw with caps lock? Katames defending well though. Oh, they lock wheels. They've locked wheels. Oh, it's unfortunate. Well, it's just, I don't think it was anyone's fault. They were doing some brilliant driving. Their just wheels got connected. And like lose out to Adam and Jax. I think there's plenty of room on track. They just locked together like two dogs shagged. So he reckons whoever doesn't pick up track limits out of the front four could win this. I agree. As Michael picks another one up. Where's Michael? He's off the track, picking up warnings. Both still yet to pit. Cat's getting more penalties than Chelsea. On lap 17 of 28, 11 laps to go. Still all to play for. The question is, when will Daniel pit? He's still going strong on these hards, so the likes of Adam that went on an early pit stop to definitely do the 20 laps then. Labrat overtaking Katames before the DRS. Wesker's joined in after their slight collision. To be fair, Labrat has got the DRS, and Michael in the pits then trying to look to do an undercut on Brutus. Oh, that's a brilliant defence from the Ferrari. Benji in as well, doing the alternate. Is this just a practice run? Is he going to do this strategy? The Div 2 leader. Or will he go for mediums first? Ooh, we shall see. Bruce is just some open air then, just to do a quick in lap. Benji come out right behind the McLaren of Higosh. But we'll have some rapid tyres as Jackson out of back and side by side again. Oh, Jackson turns in too early. He went off the track. I'd probably, if I was him, give the position to Adam as he cut the corner. but it's a steward's call if it gets reported. Katami's finally in the pits then. Comes out P16. Just ahead of Benja. Again, a former competitor in Div 2. Benji, he needs enough overtake. Oh, I don't think he expected Higosh to be as far over as he was. He probably needs to, just be careful. There's Adam and Jax again. Adam just ahead now. A brilliant overtake on Jax down at turn 12. And these two having a brilliant battle throughout the race. Brutus in now. And that means Benedict now up to P5. 4th and 5th for the Red Bulls. Brilliant driving. And Benedict actually got a big gap. 10-second gap to Michael behind him. Michael's out ahead of Brutus, who's done an undercut. Not enough to cover his penalties. But he's got a good gap ahead. So as it stands... Oh, as Brutus gets himself a penalty as well. Under threat from Capsock behind him. And Capsock's here aimed to gain a couple of positions. Is Amadi ahead of Callum. At turn 12. Red Bull means business. And like Terry said, those that don't have the track limits, they've got a fine chance of winning this race. And at the moment, Amadi is ahead of Callum. Daniel finally pitting. Lap 21. No, lap 20. I can't read. I haven't got my glasses on. Benja tussling with Katamise as Jax gets himself another track limits. Battling with Adam. At turn 11. Slots in behind the Haas, but should be able to retake the position with DRS. Back up to B12 then, the Aston Martin. As Daniel has come out on those fresh mediums right behind the Callum and D fight. We'll jump back on these two. Adamako ahead at turn 14. So managed to defend the position from Jax. Jax has to follow in the dirty air around the triple right-hander. So Portuguese leading the way. He does have the track limit penalty. So needs that 3-second gap on the chasing pack. And I think he'll need to hope that they do a bit of battling behind him. Just like these pairs. Jax at the inside of turn 1. Has the inside line again. Misses his line. I expect him to probably get loads of warnings. Mako just waiting at the end. Fastest lap for Katamise, 34.6. As Daniel gets ahead of Callum at turn 15. It can be a good overtaking spot. It's not an easy one though through that technical section. But he'll be flying on those mediums. Aiming to get himself a fastest lap as well. Should make easy meet of Amadi. And now we'll try and close the gap on Portuguese. Portuguese has got that 3 seconds on D and Callum. And so just needs to keep Daniel behind him. And Portuguese will have the race win. Daniel should pull away quite quickly from these two. 10 and 12 laps respectively. Callum, 3-second penalty. Track limits for the McLaren. So if Amadi can stay within 3 seconds, the race wins his unless he picks one up as well. Incredible. A battle up till the end. Adam and Jack still are hands round each other's throats. Apologies, I have stuff to do. I'm back, but Daniel getting that fastest lap as expected, and he's right on the gearbox of Portuguese. Amadi has dropped Callum as well, slightly out of DRS, so Callum just struggling a little bit. I'll keep an eye on these two as we go at the end of sector 1 on the helicam. And Daniel should be able to make the overtake on the Williams with the DRS. That Jackson Adam battle still looking tasty. And Daniel easy enough on the exit of turn 11. The drag racing down to turn 12, but Daniel's got himself ahead. The Portuguese needs to stay with him and hope that Daniel feels a bit of pressure and picks up another penalty, because it'll be very difficult to make an overtake with the traction that Daniel will have now. I think we saw them fade around lap 6 and 7, but he went a long first stint and should have himself covered in Semen. That's just closing the gap on Benji. Benji on those newish mediums. The cat showing some great pace, front running P10. As Jax has just managed to break the clasp of Adamako and pushed him into the clutches of Labrat, locks up at turn 12. They'll make his tyres like 50 pence pieces. Five laps to go. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like... oh no, it's not Portuguese, is it? It's Portuguese. Out of turns 9 and 10. And he's come a cropper. And I think that's it for the race win for Daniel. Unless he makes a mistake or gets another penalty himself. A big mistake from one of the front runners drops him down to P4, and his chances of the race win are in the bin. At the moment, Daniel's got a 5-second gap now to Amadi. Amadi will just need to keep pushing in those lap times. I think he's quite covered from Callum behind, but we'll hope that Daniel's tyres will wear off. With that 5-second gap, though, Daniel doesn't need to push. He just needs to hold that gap of the penalty, and he'll claim his first race win for Lights Out League Racing. This would be a good result for Amadi to close the gap on Callum. Labrat and Adam having a good battle. Labrat up to P13. That popular overtaking spot of turn 12. Just not Adam's friend in that moment. Benji closing the gap here on Caps Lock. Caps Lock actually dropped a bit from the two ahead, but they are on fresh medium, so the second stint proving quite strong for these medium runners. Benji needs to make the overtake and break free from his penalty amount. Terry's impressed with Benedict's running P5 in no man's land at the moment, but he's leading the way in the Elite Championship and will take the race win. I don't think it's his first win though, but he'll extend his lead at the top of the Elite Championship. He's got the two Dutchmen chasing behind, but I think penalties will play their part here, so Again, just Benedict just needs to get his head down. We'll see if Benji can get past the Alpine for some racing bragging rights. Caps, of course, one of 8 drivers without any penalties as yet. These 3 extra points will be valuable for Amadi. If he finishes ahead of Callum, get those extra points plus those extra 3. Will make the next few races very, very, very exciting. It's quite spread out as we come to the end of this race. Everyone's strategies have just been playing out, and 1 or 2 mistakes, and we're left with not many battles. Hopefully we have 1 or 2 in the next couple of final laps, as Benji does make that overtake on Capsock up to P8 for the Div 2 leader. And those that want to see the likes of Benji race again, we will have the Div 2 boys following this race in about 20-25 minutes time, around 9 PM UK, where it's hotting up in the championships. Red Bull of Kessler leading the way in the Challenger, and Benji in his Alpine. We lost somebody in round turn 15. I think it was Wesker, just having a bit of trouble around turn 14 and 15. Probably lost his back end. Managed to carry on going though. Yeah, Terry says Benji showing that he's got the pace, yeah, and you know, he'll if he carries on the way he's going in Div 2, he'll win that and get promoted like everyone else. So just got to keep his head down. Another yellow flag. Looks like an Aston Martin, and it's Benja. Ah, Benja's disqualified, facing the wrong way. What are you doing that for? You silly sausage. And he'll get himself ready. For the next race. Lap 27, a 28 penultimate lap, and it's almost 10 seconds gap now for Daniel. He's been absolutely flying, showed it in qualifying, but the alternate strategy's definitely played out for him. You can't park there, mate. Exactly. Oh, Brutus and Michael exchange positions. Brutus up to P6. So it's just closing in on Benedict's, and it'll be interesting to see what their penalties are at the end of the race. I'm pretty sure Benedict's only got 3. I think Michael's got 6, if I do recall. So shouldn't be too many exchanging of positions. As Wesker picks one up as well, just for bants at the end. Now misses out on those bonus 3 points. As Higosh picks one up as well, lapping it up like a drinking water. Started the final lap now, Daniel. Keep around Capstock, see if he can retake the position. He'll jump him on penalties anyway. But like I say, bragging rights and all that. And a brilliant drive for the Mercedes. Just a slight class above the rest. Had a brilliant first stint on those hards. And came out right behind the front pack. And dispatched them as quick as he liked. And broke free. A mistake by Portuguese, who's now 16 seconds adrift of Amedy and Callum. So I think he's just succumbed. But he's got to be careful. He's got Benedict behind him. He might lose an extra position here, unless he's got damage. He's got a damaged end plate. Oh, Portuguese. Oh my gosh. As we'll keep an eye on Daniel as he comes around the final corner. We'll be letting off fireworks in the Lone Star State. And Daniel takes his first win for Lights Out League Racing in Texas. Big congratulations to the Mercedes driver. And well deserved. Amedy across the line will take P2. Mr. P2. Another one. With Callum a further 6 seconds behind. Will take the final step on the podium. And couldn't do any more than he did. Portuguese will come round the final corner. He's got Benedict all over the back of him. It's all going to come down to penalties. Portuguese P4. Benedict comes home P5 and will take P1 in the elite. Congratulations to him. Brutus across the line P6 with Michael P7. Michael taking P2 in the elite as well. Well, Katz gets himself another penalty, but Benji will cross the line. We've got Jet jump by Capstock, who gets himself on the podium as well for the elite. P9 for Benji, P10 for Katz. McLaren of Higosh, who jumps Katz. So top 10 for the McLaren. Some more points for the McLaren team. Jax Daniels, not his finest race, will come home P12. Gets jumped by Lapdan on penalty, so unlucky 13 for Sam Adamako P14. Misses out on that Jax Daniels battle, but it was a fine watch. One or two claiming their strategy wasn't too good. Callum's going to have to get back to the drawing board. But big congratulations to the Hungarian. First win, and it's always good to take your first win, and what better way to do it on the track we haven't actually seen since season 26. But takes the trifecta of pole, fastest lap and the race win. Driver's aid by the games given to Benji. With most overtakes, Brutus Beer. And so, yes, P1, finish P1, fastest lap, 33.6 for Daniel. Amedy coming home P2 again. Callum, final podium spot. Portuguese P4, Benedict P5, and the P1 in the elite. Brutus P6, 7th for Michael on the podium alongside Capstock in the elite. Benji P9, Higosh rounding off the top 10 from P19 as well. Not bad. Guna did call it. Katz P11, P12 for Labrat, Jax 13th where he started, 14th for Adam Mako, Wesker 15th, 16th for Catamese, Martin Silva, AJ Neymar and Benja all unable to finish the race. Oh, well, it was a bit of a damp squib in the end, but we had some brilliant overtaking, some brilliant battles, some fine performances, and I'm sure we're going to see more in Div 2 following this in about 15 minutes time, 9 p.m. UK. So if you like to, stay tuned as we restart a new stream. If not, please join us next week, 7:30 UK for Div 1, and we'll be in the old traditional circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. My name's Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. See you very soon. Peace out.